para Iniesta. No hay fuera de juego. Vamos Iniesta.
Para Borruchaga siempre Maradona. Genio.
Cleverson, Rivaldo saiu pro Ronaldinho, pé direito, bateu. Gol!
Brasil!
Mario Götze!
What just happened? What just happened? Moriyasu, the tactical genius. Abysmal in the first half, Japan were. Didn't even try an attack. The second half, they created so many chances, and so did Germany. An unbelievable comeback. What happened 4 years ago against Belgium? Japan bottled the lead. This time around, they're doing the comeback. Germany just had a remontada. Let's be honest here. When Germany are up 1-0 with 15 minutes to go and they had all the chances and they could have buried this game, this is what happens when you don't take your opportunities. And then Japan brought on fantastic substitutes. Look at the two goal scorers for Japan. Doan and Asano, who play for Freiburg and VfL Bochum. Two Bundesliga players score against Germany. Oh my god. You see, this is why I rated this Japanese team so highly. That first half was not the Japanese team we have seen throughout the World Cup qualifiers. But that second half, they showed when they play in transition and they play quickly. I mean, Ito, for example, I thought was great today. And of course, Doan comes on as a substitute. I think he was on the field for only 4 minutes and he scored. And then Asano as well. Just unbelievable subs. And I was just thinking to myself, Moriyasu, what are you doing? What are you doing in the first half? Why are you being so passive? Take the game to Germany. And you saw this German defense is still not good. Schlotterbeck had a disaster in the second half. I have no clue what he's doing on Asano's goal. He lets Asano, who let's not take it away from him. Fantastic control for the goal. But why is Schlotterbeck so slow to engage with Asano? So slow. Instantly have to be there. Yes, I rate Schlotterbeck highly. Saw him at Freiburg last season. Rated him highly. Been a little bit up and down so far with Dortmund. But he needs to be doing better in that situation. I think for the first goal, I think it's just great combination play. Mitomo, substitute of course. Great taking on the German defenders. Obviously, the shot gets blocked, saved by Neuer. Then, of course, it falls to Doan, and it's 1-1 from that situation. Then Asano with the late goal. But Germany. Okay. Germany. This doesn't usually happen to them. They don't bottle leads, people. When was the last time Germany truly, and I mean truly, bottled a lead? I actually don't remember. People, obviously, the Germans in the live chat can let me know. Hans, for example, did you have a 1-0 lead over North Macedonia? Because that might be the last time. They were fantastic for like the first 60 minutes. Germany created chances. Gundogan hit the post. I can remember Gnabry having a chance. They had all the chance. Hoffmann, for example, as well. Gnabry again in the second half. Germany had all the chances to kill this game off. But what happens? You don't kill the game off, and then Japan are a quality team. And I've been telling you in the previews, and I've been telling you new predictions, this Japanese team are for real, and they will make a statement at this year's World Cup. I think I predicted them to make it to the quarterfinals. You're seeing why. When this team actually want to play quickly in transition, they will cause trouble to any team, I think. Any team. Yes, maybe this German defense isn't the greatest, but still. Man, you just have to get the character that they showed as well. Unbelievable, but... okay, so let's just quickly look. Let me just go full screen for you people. Big up to everybody. SKC, what are we saying about AFC right now? 2 big wins over Argentina and Germany. So the AFC are happy right now. Big up to Hans. He says, I am happy for Japan, but I am angry as well. I was expecting a difficult game, but we were just not good enough. Look, Hans, Germany were good for the first, I would say, 60 minutes. And then they just kind of fell apart. They allowed Japan to grow into the game, get some confidence, and then look what happened. They get punished. And yes, Chris, game of two halves. Germany were utterly dominant in the first half. I think it was like 80% ball possession. Japan didn't even have a sniff of the goal. They scored the offside goal, but it was clearly offside. I don't know what Maeda is doing in that situation. But the second half, Japan were so much better. Of course, like the first 10 to 15 minutes, Germany created chances. Hoffmann, like I said, Gundogan hitting the post, but you just felt, okay, Japan are growing in confidence. They just need to get the subs on. And look at the substitutions that Moriyasu made. He must have changed formation at least 3 times during that half. At least 3 times. I don't know why Tomiyasu didn't start. I think he has an injury, so that's why Moriyasu didn't start him. Mitoma, rate this guy. Saw him at Royal Union St. Julian last season. I was like, okay, when he goes to Brighton, he's going to be a fantastic player. Asano, of course, coming on for Maeda. Good substitution. I think Maeda was kind of tiring out. And, he didn't get any service throughout the game. And then Ritsu Doyan and then Minamino. I mean, like, when you have those options when you're Moriyasu off the bench, you're doing very, very well. Now, if I have a criticism for Hansi Flick, was it a smart idea to bring off Gundogan? Was it a smart idea? In hindsight, okay, yes, Goretzka can go box to box. The game is going to be a bit more open. You want that sort of midfielder, but Gundogan was there to control the match. You saw with him and Kimmich, they were running the show. Hey, they were running the show. Daichi Kamado, who I rate highly, couldn't even get a sniff in this game either. But, man. Endo, Daichi Kamada, Ito. I mean, honestly, guys, Ito, who I believe now plays in League I can't remember the club's name that he plays for. Whenever he gets on the ball, he is so dangerous. So dangerous. And of course, Gonda making a couple brilliant saves. I think the triple save he made in the second half, brilliant, even though I don't know why sometimes he doesn't just catch it. Instead, he just wants to punch it every time, it seems like. But anyways, he plays for Stade Rennes. Thank you very much, Undecided. So, our only goal was a penalty. That says it all. And look, Hans, this has been a big issue with this German team during Hansi Flick's era, right? They play some fantastic football. They will dominate possession. They will create all the chances. They don't have a clinical striker. They don't. They don't have a Mario Gomez. They don't have a Miroslav Klose. Who on this team do you think will get the goals? I know Gnabry has been in better form for Bayern in the last couple of weeks, but seriously, who will get the goals on this German team? Honestly, you might have to just start Füllkrug in the next game because he's been fantastic with Werder Bremen this season. I think you have to go with him because Kai Havertz, again, just... not a good performance. Again, Musiala was trying, but he was trying to have a good combination play, have an impact on the play, but man, just, it wasn't there. And that penalty was soft. It's a 50-50 sort. I've seen those given. I mean, obviously, I don't think it was soft. I think it was a penalty, but I've seen those given and not given as well. But it was a bit of an interesting one to say the least. And just start Moukoko. Havertz can play Cam better. He's just not a center forward. You just see him sometimes drifting out wide. That's not him. Kai Havertz needs to be in the 10 role, combined with the striker, combined with the wingers. That's where you see the best of Kai Havertz. But clearly, I don't know what Hansi Flick is doing. I don't know what, obviously, Graham Potter is doing. Kai Havertz is not a false 9. He just simply isn't. So, I can't believe Slotterbeck got a 7.3 from FootMob. But shout out to FootMob. If they ever want to sponsor me, shout out to me because Slotterbeck, yes, fantastic, like we have talked about. But seriously, defensively, he needs to get better. Needs to be more physical. I love Rudiger, by the way. What he did in the second half with the hop skipping. Oh, Rudiger is jokes, man. He is jokes. And look, Musiala did try everything, but Japan did a good job in defending against him. Yeah, exactly. So, you got to give credit to Yoshida and Itokura. And, Yoshida with the experience, Itokura a little bit younger. You just have to marvel at this Japanese team. They didn't give up. While they were looking terrible in the first half, they didn't give up. They kept going, and eventually they got their reward in winning this game. Because they started creating the chances. Like, Ito had the shot that was deflected off Rudiger. Then, obviously, Nori made an incredible save. Sakai, I don't know. Sakai, he's a right back. I can't judge him too much, but he should have at least put that on target. But skies it over the bar. And, yeah, did Sane play? No, Sane is carrying an injury, so I don't think he didn't play in this game. Will he play in the next game? Let's see then with his recovery, but he might just be a sub again because he is coming back from injury. And yes, most fouls tend to look worse in slow-mo. Do you think referees should use slow-mo when looking at replay on VAR? I mean, what else are they going to look at? What else? They're going to look at slow-mo, so they should only show it in real time, in my opinion, though. And I have the feeling nothing changed since a few years. Yes, we had chances, but still I have the feeling we are not creative and clinical enough. No, Hans, I would disagree. I would disagree. I would say Germany create a lot more than at the end of Joachim Löw's time. I think under the end of Joachim Löw's time, it just became stale, the football. Under Hansi Flick, you're creating the chances. But when you don't have clinical forwards, like a Miroslav Klose, like a Mario Gomez, and these sort of players, I can't go into a match with Germany and being confident, oh yeah, you know what? They're going to score more than one goal. They might get that one goal, whether it's a penalty or a brilliant individual play. But otherwise, I don't see where they're going to get 2 or 3 goals in a match. I don't. So that's the biggest problem with this German team. And yes, defensively, they leave themselves exposed. And Japan are just fantastic in the counterattack. That's what this team I have predicated this in the previews. When they're in transition, especially against teams who want to keep possession, Japan will hurt them. And that was evident yet again today. And yes, Japanese goalkeeper showed a doubt a couple of times, but when he played amazingly still. Yeah, a little bit shaky at times was Gonda, but he turned up in the biggest moments when his country needed him the most. And could you argue that this is Japan's greatest ever result at the World Cup? You could say that. I think you could say that this might, because Japan have always struggled against the top 20 teams in FIFA rankings. They have always struggled against them. But today was a different day. Today was a different day. And shout out to Japan. I absolutely love this team. And I need to buy their jersey. That's what I need to do. And don't worry, people, Spain is even less clinical. Exactly. Yes, but we only showed really good performances against smaller teams. If I'm honest, in the Nations League, we're okay, but not great. And the qualifiers, our group was easy. Yeah, that is true. And Japan 100% agreed with that. A lot of countries struggle with making goals this World Cup. Yeah, look, this is the problem I have with a lot of teams. And I'll say it again. I said this in the preview. A lot of these countries don't have clinical strikers or clinical forwards. They have either great defense, great midfield, but the attack is lacking. And we have seen that so far. Croatia, lacking in attack. Germany, lacking in attack. The only teams that really weren't lacking were France and England. Those were the only countries you could say, you know what? They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They got clinical players. It's crazy that they think that... Well, to be fair, undecided. I think Japan, they were pretty much qualified at that point. So yeah, no, I wouldn't say this. That bro, he won a sextuple with Bayern Munich. Relax. And it's easily Japan's best win. Yep. I never liked their previous goalkeeper and felt that was why they were missing against teams like Belgium last World Cup. Maybe I'm being unfair with Kawashima, but this year it looks better. Yeah, and all good strikers. Injured, yes, and so many injuries for Bayern Munich players. It's not looking good for Bayern Munich at all. And no. Ter Stegen shouldn't start. Look, Neuer made a couple of good saves. You cannot blame Neuer for either goal. Okay, maybe for the first goal you could say, why are you pairing it out straight to Dojan? Why are you doing it? But look, I think Neuer kept Germany in the game. But they bottled it. They had a remontada. They should be beating Japan. But Japan had other ideas today. They had other ideas and rose to create another upset. Actually, to be fair, you know what? I don't even consider this an upset. Because I rated this Japanese team highly. Now, is it an upset in terms of, yes, Germany should be beating Japan? Of course. Don't deny that. But Japan are a quality team. They might not have the superstar player, right? You could argue maybe Kubo could be that guy. Ito, I think is a quality player. He just needs to be a bit more clinical. But otherwise, it is fantastic. And yeah, look, can't have 70% and only score one goal. I mean, look, Spain controlled possession all the time when it was Iniesta, Xavi. And, some games they only won 1-0. Like, look at the World Cup in 2010. They had 1-0s on the road to the World Cup. And they won the World Cup 1-0. So, yeah. I mean, look. This is pretty crazy stats, people. This is pretty crazy stats. Let me just hide the comment. But big up to everybody. We got 35 of you watching. Remember to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. We'll react soon to Croatia and Morocco. There's not a lot of talking points, but I just want to get my thoughts off on that game as well. And yeah, I'll be ending in about 15 minutes. So give your thoughts in the comments, and I will pull them up if I see anything good. And yes, my ranking of Asian teams so far: Iran, Qatar. Wait, what? Oh, okay, reverse order. I see reverse order. So Iran the worst, Qatar second worst, Australia, Japan, Saudi Arabia. Yeah, look, it's looking good. It's looking good for AFC. It was looking terrible the first 2 days, but Saudi Arabia and Japan said, watch this, people. Watch this. And yeah, let's be honest, the World Cup is crazy. I'm going to look at the group standings. I love it. I love it. This is why I love the World Cup. And 74% ball possession for Germany. 26 for Japan. That's because the first half was 82% ball possession for Germany and like 18 for Japan. That's crazy. Shots 26-12. Expected goals 3.27 to 1.42. Now obviously 0.95 of that is of course the penalty. Just shows you Germany created so many glorious chances. They created 4 big chances missed. 4. And they completed almost 700 passes. But that all doesn't matter. The final score is the only stat that matters in football. That's what I say. You know, people always want to talk about possession. Okay, you create all these shots. Be clinical then. I don't want to hear about, oh, we're unlucky. We had all these chances. Bury them. You only have yourselves to blame then. And also because Japan then fought back into the game. Like, look at this. Look at this shot map. Actually, how many shots on target did they have? 9 shots on target. 9 shots on target for Germany compared to 4 for Japan. And all of those 4 were in the second half. Because Japan started, like I said, Moriyasu started to change his personnel and it paid dividends. And I'll say it again. They were way too passive in the first half for Japan. Way too passive. And this is why you got to rate Moriyasu as the manager. And they can't be underdogs when most people had them go through the groups over Spain and Germany. Look, I'll be one of them. I said Japan would be second, Germany would be first, and Spain would be third. I'm still going to stick by it. I think Germany, they just need to be clinical. That's their downfall of this team. They have to be clinical, but who's going to be the clinical guy who will take this team to the next level? Who will be that guy? And yeah, Japan, oh yeah, exactly. Japan were so dangerous. Every time they went on the counterattack in the second half, it looked like they were going to score. Either David Raum out of position or then Schlotterbeck being just terrible. Rudiger, I thought, played a very good game, but seriously, come on. It has to be better defensively from Hansi Flick's side, but that's the sort of football that he wants to play. Leave yourselves exposed at the back, but then obviously create all the chances. But if you don't take those chances, you're going to lose the game. And yeah, the World Cup didn't get off to a good start. The results were predictable yesterday, as was all we needed to turn it around. Exactly. Look, people, we always have this at the World Cup, and this is why I have some upsets with my predictions. There's always going to be upsets, and this is why the World Cup is the best tournament, because you cannot predict it. You simply cannot predict that Saudi Arabia would first beat Argentina, and that Japan, even though I would say, Japan had a better chance of beating Germany than compared to Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, you cannot predict it. And other teams around the world, whether it's from AFC, CAF got to show up though. CAF, you need to start showing up though. Okay? You got 2 draws, good, but you need to have a team progress out of the group this time. And I rate the CAF teams, but it is now your time to shine. Because the AFC have said, we're here to play. This World Cup's in our continent. We want to show up. Maybe the host didn't show up, but others, they will show up this time around. If Costa Rica somehow shithouse their way to a 1-0 victory over Spain, it's going to be another urgent live stream. It's going to be another urgent one. If Keylor Navas makes 20 gazillion saves and it's a 1-0, oh boy, we're talking about it. And yeah, look, Spain could crash out. Spain could definitely crash out. And yeah, Germany deserves this after the disrespect they showed the... Look, I'm not going to get into that. That's off the field. This is only football, but, And well, at least we are not the only ridicule anymore. Hey, Germany, Argentina, they're in the same boat at the moment. They're in the same boat, and now it's time for Twitch boy to mess it up, Pope. Oh boy. All right. let's quickly talk about then Croatia, Morocco before I head out. And looks like somebody else is having a live stream, so I might have to join there and talk about why I said Japan would be first or second in this group. But quickly, Morocco, Croatia, boring game, absolutely boring. I think it's been the most boring game so far of this World Cup. No disrespect to either nation. Croatia, like I said in the previous predictions, the lack of a striker worries me with this team. They are very good defensively, but the forward line is just lacking. Kramaric is not that guy. I'm going to say it over and over again. Kramaric, who has not been that great with Hoffenheim this season, is just simply not that guy who will take Croatia. He's not a Mandzukic, right? He's just not clutch like Mandzukic. But they kept possession well. They moved the ball well. But just Croatia they're lacking in that final third. They couldn't even get to almost sometimes to the final third because Morocco played a very good defensive game. A 4-5-1. Don't allow Croatia to create in the final third, and we'll be fine. And that's exactly what happened. And I think for Morocco, yes, I think getting a point against Croatia is great, but you have to be a bit more... you have to give a little bit more attacking-wise, right? Find some room for Buffon, Ziyech too. Because every time Ziyech received the ball, even though Hakimi is just going to... Boom! He's just going to go bolting forward. You need to get Ziyech in and around the box. You saw when he put one of those crosses in and Endaziri just completely missed it because sometimes he's just a terrible striker. That's where you need Ziyech at. Not at the halfway line created. You need him in and around the box. So I think for Morocco, good defensive performance. Just need to show a bit more attacking-wise. It looks like Mazraoui is injured and probably will be out of the World Cup, which is very sad to see because him and Hakimi as two fullbacks, that is one heck of a combination. But it looks like he's out, even though the substitute actually did quite well, in my opinion. But Mazraoui is going to be a big miss. And look, I'll just show you guys quickly the XG. Like the XG, like I said, it was a boring game. And yes, Croatia looked toothless. They did. And Croatia was disappointing just like Denmark yesterday. Look, a lot of these teams, I don't think they want to take a risk. And they realize, Morocco and Tunisia, they have a lot of support here. They're going to be fired up for this game. You have to be prepared if you are the UEFA nations, especially these North African teams. They're going to have a lot of support. It felt like the game was being played in Casablanca. That's what it felt like because the atmosphere was fantastic. Even watching the game through TV. And Morocco need more offensive power. And they might look. I still think Morocco will come second because I think they will beat Belgium. Well, depending how Belgium look tonight. But I still think Morocco will finish second. And I'm still having Croatia first. But it is interesting. It's just, Morocco got to be a bit more attacking-wise. And Croatia, what was the best chance? Vlasic, I remember the Lovren header. They didn't create anything. Look at this, people. They created absolutely nothing in this game. So that's something that Zlatko Dalic has to realize with this team. They just got to be a bit more attacking-wise, show some intent, and I think Croatia will be fine. Morocco, you got to get your star players involved. Buffon and Ziyech in and around the box, you will be fine then for Morocco. But people, it looks like somebody else is having a live stream. Might have to jump on and talk about it. Oh boy, the World Cup is heating up. It is heating up. Will Costa Rica, Los Ticos say, we're here for the upsets too, people. Maybe Canada later tonight? Could that happen? But people, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let's get it up to, how many likes are we on? 18, and there's 45 of you watching. You should be hitting the like button. Come on. Seriously, let's get it up to at least 30 likes and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Last comment before I head... Oh, God. Did you see his dribble? The guy said, you want to see the ghost move? I like his intent, Ezuli. I like his intent, but my God. It was terrible. And yeah, look, of course. You could say that Balkan Warrior, but when Croatia had more of the possession, of course Morocco are going to boo more. Of course the fans are going to boo more. They're going to try and throw them off with their possession. So, people, I will catch you later. Shout out Japan. Shout out Japan. This is how you play football, and this is why we love the World Cup. The best competition in the world. He forgot the ball, embarrassed. It was just terrible from Ezuli. Terrible. But anyways, have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world, and we'll probably be later live tonight. So hit the notification bell as well. Hit the like button, subscribe. Adios, people, and shout out to Japan.